Hi friends. Honestly, just feeling angry today. Like, I'm over it. How are you supposed to know who you are when you're constantly being bombarded with other people's energy, with other people's belief systems, with other people's BS? How are you supposed to get through a day when you're constantly being handed other people's garbage? And what are you supposed to do with it? So take your own advice, right? So now is the point where I have to take a deep breath and thank myself for the awareness that I have that it isn't me, these different ways that I'm feeling. When you feel angry or depressed or super sad or you have anxiety or whatever it is, that frustration, whatever it is they're feeling, and you're like, you're clueless as to why you're feeling that way. Like if someone says, why are you so sad? And you're literally like, I don't know. Stop. You're probably an empath on, some level. We all are. If we open our intuition up enough, if we open ourselves up enough, we all are. We can all feel other people. But some of us are so open that the energy just comes on in. And when you live in a place where the different frequencies are turned up around you, like poverty and violence and other negative things, when those things are turned up, then the way people, the community around you is feeling is depression, is sadness, is anger, is frustration. And you can feel it physically on your shoulders, in your neck, in your lower back, in your stomach. You can feel all these different things, and it will start to make you feel like you're going crazy because why do I feel this way? So stop. Take a deep breath. Realize that the energy is not yours. It's not your energy, and you don't have to deal with it. You literally do not have to deal with other people's energy. You can send it on its way. Transmute it if you want to, or just send it on back to the tower that it came from. Whatever you believe, whatever your belief system is that you're holding on to. The other thing that came today was let it go. The things that you are the most attached to are probably toxic for you, and it's time to let them go. No matter what it is. And I don't know your definition of how to let things go. If it scares you to think, oh, what do you mean I have to let go of my kids? I'm so attached to my kids. Well, think of what that means for you. We're each on an individual journey here. We're each doing our thing, yeah? So what it means for me to let go of my children is different than what it means for you, but the same truth is that we both hold attachments. And those attachments are no good. When I was a kid, I remember wanting to have the feeling that the other kids had, because I knew I had friends who had a blankie and a binky and, different little material things, little soft things that they couldn't leave the house without. They couldn't, and they would freak out if they didn't have them. If their parents tried to take it away, they would freak out. And I remember I wanted to have that experience, and I think it carried over into my adult life, because then I was attached to things, and just like they were attached to their blinkies and their binkies and whatever, I became attached to relationships that were no good for me. I became attached to situations that were no good for me. I became attached to a lot of things. None of them were a material soft blankie, but I did become attached to a lot of things that I had to learn how to let go of. And so any attachment now in your life, let it go. Whatever that means for you. I know what it means for me. And sometimes it doesn't feel good and I don't want to, but let it go. Right now it's old habits of the mind, old habits. Can't have ego anymore because ego and awareness can't reside in the same house, basically. So now I'm aware, now I see I have these habits, and you've been programmed to think that it takes 21 days to break a habit. You've been programmed to think that it takes a long time to break these things, but it doesn't. It's all in your mind. It's up to you. There's no number greater than 9. Let's look at it that way. Let's look at it as 1 through 9 is the greatest. 9 would be your addiction. That we'll call that an addiction. That's the strongest habit you can have. Well, how many days does it take to break a habit? They say 21. 21 is 3. So let's break it down to that. It takes 3 days to break a habit. So break the habit, whatever it is. Pick one. Pick one of your attachments, one of your strongest attachments, one of your biggest addictions, and tell yourself it takes, or your smallest one, if that's it, if that's what you can handle right now. It takes 3 days to break it. 3 days. Break it. In 3 days. You can do it.